All right, we're gonna start having a seat today on the mat. So just find that comfortable seat, either legs crossed, feet out, feet up. Oh, looks like we have someone else joining us. Come in really quick. All right, so just comfortable seat again. We'll start to close the eyes. Start to focus on the breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling the air move in, all the spaces in the lungs, moving all the way down to the toes and the fingertips. And then feeling it leave the body with each exhale. Taking these next few minutes to recognize that breath, getting comfortable with it, starting to see how it makes us feel. Also taking these breaths here to start to let the day go. Start to bring ourselves into our rooms and onto our mats. Take these next few minutes to just really focus on that breath. Taking a few more deep inhales and exhales. And we'll let the hands come down by the sides. We can continue to keep the eyes closed, or if we want to, start to slightly open them just so they're a little hooded or fully open. It's your choice. But we'll inhale, bring those arms up. As we exhale, turn the palms away, drop those arms down. Moving with our breath here. Inhale, bring those arms up. Exhale, turn those palms, arms down. Inhale, bring those arms up. And exhale down. Doing it a couple more times. Inhale the arms up. And exhale down. One more time here. Inhale the arms up. And exhale them down. And we will inhale those arms back up. And this time on the exhale, we're gonna bring ourselves straight down over those legs, letting those hands come down. Just letting those hands walk out just as far as when we start to feel that stretch in the legs, in that lower back. And take those few breaths here. And we'll slowly start to walk those hands back towards us, lifting ourselves back up. Let those hands come back down to the sides. Inhale, bring those arms back up. As we exhale, drop that left hand down onto the mat and just fold over that left side. If we want, we can open up that chest a little bit by just opening that shoulder that chest up towards the ceiling or just staying straight over the side, whatever's comfortable. And take those deep breaths. On our next inhale, lifting ourselves back up, bringing that arm up. As we exhale, drop that right arm down, fold over that right side. Again, if we want to open that chest, we can start to just open it towards that ceiling, bringing that gaze up, or just staying straight over that side, whatever is comfortable. Feeling all those spaces between the lungs start to open up here. And take those deep breaths. On our next inhale, bringing ourselves back up, bring that arm up. Exhale, drop those arms down. Take those legs, if we have them crossed, and switch those legs out. So whatever one was behind, go ahead and place that one in the front. Take those arms back by the sides. Inhale, bring those arms up. As we exhale, we're going to fold straight down between those legs again. This time getting that little extra stretch on that other side. Again, coming down to just where it's comfortable on those hips and on that lower back. And take those deep breaths. And we'll slowly start to walk those hands back towards us, lifting ourselves back up. Take those hands under those knees, give those legs a little help. Place those feet on the mat, straighten those legs out. Kind of rock side to side here. Rotate those ankles, roll those knees, roll those hips, kind of flop those legs around. And then we're going to take the right leg, place that foot on the mat. Cross that foot over to that other side of that knee. Sitting up nice and tall. Take an inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to twist the upper body towards that bent leg, taking that left arm, placing it alongside that thigh, bringing that gaze as far over that back shoulder as is comfortable right now on that neck. And take those deep breaths, breathing into the twist in our backs here. Taking just a couple more deep breaths. And we'll slowly start to release that twist, coming back forward. Take that foot, uncross it, straighten that leg. Give those legs that nice little wiggle. Circle those ankles, circle those hips out. And then take that left foot, place it on the mat, and cross that foot over so that foot's on the outside of that knee, sitting up nice and tall here. Take a deep inhale. And as we exhale, twist that upper body towards that bent leg, taking that right hand alongside that thigh. Gaze going as far over that back shoulder as it's comfortable right now. And take those deep breaths. Taking a couple more deep inhales and exhales. And we'll slowly start to bring that upper body back forward, untwist that leg, and make our way up onto our hands and our knees. So take a moment right here to line that wrist up under the shoulders, line the knees up under those hips, feet tops flat on the floor behind us. As we inhale, we're going to drop the belly down, bring that gaze up. Exhale, start to roll that spine in, tuck that chin to the chest. Inhale, drop the belly down, bring the gaze up. Exhale, roll that spine, tuck the chin. And inhale, dropping the belly down, bringing the gaze up. Exhale, roll that spine, tuck that chin. Inhale, drop that belly down, gaze up. Exhale, rolling that spine. And doing it one more time here. Inhale, dropping the belly down, gaze up. Exhale, roll that spine, tuck that chin. On the next inhale, just coming to a neutral spine. We're going to tuck the big toes together. Kind of walk those knees out so they're a little wider than those hips. And sink those hips down onto those heels. Slide the hands out. Drop that forehead to the mat. And take a few deep breaths here. And take those hands and try to walk them just a little bit farther, getting a nice stretch in those shoulders here. And take those deep inhales and exhales. Feeling that stretch all the way down the shoulders into the back. Taking a couple more deep breaths here. On our next inhale, we're going to bring ourselves back up to those hands and those knees. Walk those knees back in so they're under those hips. Bringing those hands right under those shoulders. Tuck those toes behind us. Start to lift those hips up, coming into a down dog. And in our down dog here, pedal those feet out. So lift one heel, drop the other. Wake up the backs of those legs, stretching them out, taking our time here. Maybe one side needs to be held a little bit longer before switching to that other side. Just moving with how your body feels right now. And when you feel ready, let those legs come into stillness. Take a deep inhale and exhale. And on that next inhale, walk those feet up to the hands. Fold ourselves over the legs with a slight bend in those knees. Take those hands, grab opposite elbows, let that head hang, let those shoulders hang, and then slowly rock side to side. And then come back center. Take a deep breath. Drop those hands down. Put a little bit deeper bend in those knees. Take the hands, place them on the thighs, and roll ourselves all the way up, stacking those vertebrae, taking our time here. And when we bring that head up, roll those shoulders down the back, let the hands come down to the side, open those palms up, take a deep breath, exhale it out. On the next inhale, bring those arms up, gaze up to those thumbs. Exhale, open those arms out, folding ourselves over those legs. Inhale, slide those hands right under those knees, coming halfway. Exhale, dropping ourselves back into a fold. Inhale, step the feet back to a high plank or onto the knees. As we exhale, coming all the way onto that mat. Untuck those toes. Inhale, lift just that chest. Exhale, down. Inhale, tuck those toes, bringing ourselves back to our down dog. Taking our breath here. On our next inhale, walk the feet up to the hands, folding ourselves over the legs. Inhale, come all the way up, bringing those arms. Exhaling them down. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, open those arms, swan dive over those legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to that down dog or onto those knees. Exhale, coming all the way down. Inhale, untuck those toes, lift that chest. Exhale, down. Inhale, push back to down dog. Take that breath. On the next inhale, walk the feet up to the hands. Fold ourselves over the legs. And inhale all the way up. Bringing those arms. Exhale down. Inhale, bring those arms up. Gaze going up towards those thumbs. Exhale, swan dive over those legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to that high plank or onto those knees. Exhale, coming all the way onto that mat. Untuck those toes. Inhale, lift that chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push back to down dog. And we'll hold our down dog here, taking a couple breaths. Feel free to pedal the feet out. Taking this down dog here as a little bit of a rest in order to catch the breath if we've lost it here, or just to reconnect with it. So take those deep inhales and exhales. On our next inhale, we're going to lift our right leg with a bend in the knee. As we exhale, start to shift that knee forward between the chest. Drop that foot between the thumbs. As we exhale, drop that back foot down onto the mat. Untuck those toes. Take those hands up on that thigh. Give ourselves that little assist up. Once we're up in our kneeling position, we want to make sure we're sinking into that front hip. So we have a little bit of an angle in that side so we're not straight up and down. So we need to walk that front foot out a little bit. Also making sure that knee is over that ankle, not going over those toes. When we feel ready, we'll inhale, bring those arms up. And we can either hold it right here, or if we want to add a little back bend, we can bring the hands together, interlace the fingers, keeping those pointer fingers straight up. Bring that gaze up towards the sky. As we exhale, shift that upper body back, engaging the core here, helping out that lower back. Again, you don't have to add that back bend, it's your choice. But take those deep breaths wherever you're at. If we're in that back bend, we'll slowly bring ourselves back forward. Release those hands. As we exhale, fold over that front leg. We're going to tuck the toes behind us and lift that knee up off the mat. And take a second here to kind of adjust the feet so they're on those railroad tracks, not directly behind each other. Take the hands up on that thigh. Give ourselves, again, that little assist up. And if we need to adjust those feet while we're in that standing, feel free. We're going to take the arms, inhale, bring them up. As we exhale, drop that left arm down, rest it on that back thigh, and sort of give ourselves a little twist, kind of back bend here. Always being able to just stay straight up and down. We have that back bend in, we're engaging that core here. And take those deep breaths. And if we have that back bend, we'll start to bring ourselves back forward. Inhale, bring that opposite arm back up. Exhale, drop both arms down, bring them onto that hip. We're going to take that back foot, pop it forward, just about maybe a foot length, maybe a couple, and then rotate that heel so it's down on that mat. And that foot's pointing off to the side. Again, we can always adjust the stance if we need to. Putting a bend in that front knee. We'll inhale, bring those arms up. And we'll stay straight forward here. And take those deep breaths. On our next inhale, we're going to straighten that front leg. As we exhale, fold ourselves over that leg. Coming down, letting those hands rest on either side of the leg. Allowing the back of the hamstrings here to start to loosen up. So again, we have a deep stretch here. So if we need to take some blocks or books or pillows or anything and stack them on both sides of that foot to rest those hands to bring ourselves up a little bit, we can do that. We can also take the hands and rest them on that shin or even coming up onto that thigh. Also always having a bend in that front knee if that's comfortable as well. We'll hold this for a few breaths, allowing that leg to loosen up. Sending the breath to the back of the leg, allowing those muscles to lengthen. Holding it for a few more breaths here. And slowly putting a bend in that front knee, rotating that back foot so we're up on those toes. Take the hands, place them onto the mat, and step that front leg back into a down dog. And if we want, we can take that right leg, give it a nice little shake in that down dog. And place it back on the mat, give that left leg a nice little shake. Placing that foot back down. Again, feel free to pedal those feet out. Maybe noticing the difference between the legs right now. Maybe that right leg feels a little bit more looser, a little bit more fatigued. And using this down dog to catch the breath or refocus on it. Holding it for a couple more breaths here. On our next inhale, we're going to lift our left leg, this time with a bend in that knee. As we exhale, shifting that knee forward, dropping that foot between the thumbs. Dropping down onto that back knee, untuck those toes. Hands up on that thigh, giving ourselves that little assist up. Again, sinking into that front knee, so we want that angle, so we don't want to be straight up and down here. So feeling that stretch in that right hip. Always able to walk that front leg out. We'll take the hands, dropping them down by the sides. Inhale, bring those arms up. We'll take those hands together, interlace those fingers, keeping those pointers up nice and straight, bringing that gaze up towards the sky, and as we exhale, shifting that upper body back to put that little back bend in. Engage that core here to help that lower back out. Again, this back bend is optional, so feel free to stay straight up and down, and take those deep breaths. If we have that back, then we'll slowly start to bring ourselves back forward. Release those hands. As we exhale, bending ourselves over that leg, placing the hands on the mat. We'll tuck those toes, pop that back knee up off the mat. Take that second here to adjust those legs so we're on those railroad tracks, so those feet aren't directly behind us or behind each other. Take the hands up on that thigh, give ourselves that little assist up. And again, once we're standing, we can always adjust those feet as well. Let those arms come down by the sides. Inhale, bring those arms up. As we exhale, take that right hand, dropping it down onto that back side. And we'll start to shift into that kind of sideways back bend here, engaging that core. And take those deep breaths. Hold it for a couple more breaths here. And we'll slowly start to bring ourselves back forward. Inhale, bring that other arm up. Exhale, drop those hands down to the hips. We'll take that back foot, step it forward, those couple foot lengths, rotating that heel so it's back down on the mat and pointing off at that angle. Placing that bend in that front knee. Again, finding that stance that's comfortable here. And inhale, bring those arms up. And staying just straight up and down here. So take those deep breaths. On our next inhale, straighten that front leg. As we exhale, fold ourselves straight over that leg, letting those hands come down. Again, if you want to take those books, yoga blocks, pillows, anything on the sides of the foot to bring ourselves up, we can do that. Always can have a bend in the knee. Hands can be placed on the shin or up on the thigh as well. Taking those deep breaths. Always sending the breath down into the back of the leg, allowing it to loosen up. Holding this for just a little bit longer. Using these poses that we hold to really focus on that breath. And slowly starting to put a bend in that front knee, rotating that back foot so we're up on those toes. Taking those hands all the way down onto the mat and stepping that front leg back to a down dog. And then we'll take that left leg, give it a nice shake. Place it back on the mat. Take that right leg, give it that shake as well. And place that foot back on the mat. Again, feel free to pedal those feet out here. Maybe those legs now feel a little bit more even than they did just a little bit ago. And taking those deep breaths here, holding this for a couple more breaths. On our next inhale, we're going to lift that right leg with a bend in the knee. As we exhale, start to bring that leg forward, drop that foot between the thumbs. Rotate that back foot so it's parallel with the mat. Take those hands on that thigh, give ourselves that little assist up. We're going to straighten that front leg, rotate that foot so it's also parallel. Take a second here, walk those feet so they're about in line with each other. We'll inhale, bring those arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to come about halfway, holding ourselves here, trying to keep the weight evenly into those feet. So we're not putting too much weight in those toes and not too much in those heels. If this is too much on that back, we can take those arms, place them on the hips. Holding it for a couple more breaths here. And on the next exhale, let ourselves come all the way down. Let that head hang. Let those arms just fall wherever's comfortable. Shake the head, yes. And then shake it, no. And then just let it hang. When we feel ready, we're going to take the hands right in front of the face. We're going into a twist here, so we have a couple options. So to start, we can take the right hand, place it right in front of the face, straight down on the ground, and take the left hand and just start to turn our shoulders, opening up to the side. So we can stay right here. Or if we want to go a little bit deeper into the pose, we can start to walk the upper body over to that left leg, taking the right hand, grabbing that ankle, and then twisting ourselves up. So we're almost trying to fold that upper body into that leg while twisting. So wherever you're at, take those deep breaths. The gaze can be at the side or up at the ceiling, whatever's comfortable on the neck right now. Taking a couple more deep breaths here. And we'll slowly exhale that arm back down. If we have a hold of the foot, walk ourselves back center. And then let ourselves hang here, letting everything hang again, shaking the head around, taking those breaths. And when we feel ready, we'll go into that twist on the other side. So taking those hands right under the face. This time taking that left hand and going into our first option, placing that right under the face, and then opening that right arm to the side. Or if we want to go a little bit deeper into the pose, we'll start to walk those hands over to that right leg, taking a hold of that ankle and then twisting ourselves up. Again, that gaze is wherever's going to be comfortable on that neck, and taking those deep breaths wherever we're at. And we'll slowly exhale that arm back down. Walk those hands back center. And slowly start to put a bend in those knees. Take the hands on the hips. Roll ourselves up. We're going to take those heels, or straighten those legs if we haven't. Take those heels, just kind of slightly turn them in so the toes are pointing off to those corners. Inhale, bring those arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to start to bend those knees, squatting ourselves down, and then bend those elbows. Hands are nice and wide. So we have weight going into the heels of the feet here. So we don't want to be leaning over or backwards, just holding ourselves. Again, those shoulders are, or those elbows are nice and 90 degrees, hands open. Holding this for a couple breaths here. We'll take one more deep breath. And on the next inhale, straighten those legs, straighten those arms. And exhale, drop those arms down. And then we'll toe heel those feet in together, bring ourselves all the way up. Take the feet. We can either place them all the way together, or if that's not quite comfortable, you can have them about hip distance apart. So we're going to keep the feet at that spot. Inhale, bring those arms up. And exhale, we're going to fold straight forward, putting a little bit of a bend in those knees. And then we're going to start to sink the hips down. So like we're squatting all the way down into a deep chair, and then coming all the way down wherever we're at, either keeping those feet together or that hip distance. So it's okay if those heels start to come up off the mat. Just depends how tight that Achilles is. If it's not quite comfortable, you can take the back of the mat and roll it up so it sits under those heels, kind of give that support under those feet, or stick a pillow or something as well. So we'll put a little bit of a balance here into this pose. So we'll start to find that spot on the floor that's in front of us that we can focus on, that's not moving. Start to lift those hands up off the mat and bring those hands together in front of us. Taking those deep breaths. Again, only adding that balance if it's comfortable. Letting ourselves focus on the breath here, helping us use that balance. We'll have one more breath. And then let those hands come slowly back onto the mat. And start to straighten those legs. Allow the blood to come back into those toes, into those feet. If you want to lift one foot, wiggle it around. Lift the other leg. Place both feet back onto the mat. And we'll inhale, come all the way up. Bring those arms. Exhale them down. So at the top of our mats here, we'll inhale, bring those arms up, gaze up towards those thumbs. Exhale, open up those arms, swan dive over those legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. This time we inhale, we're going to step back to a down dog. And as we exhale, drop down onto those knees. And then make our way to have a seat onto our mat. And we'll take those legs straight out in front of us. Rocking side to side so we're up on those sit bones. Let the hands come down by the sides. Inhale, bring those arms up. And as we exhale, fold over those legs. Letting those arms come down to wherever's comfortable. Trying to keep the length in the back so we don't want to round ourselves over those legs. We can always have a bend in the knees. Feeling the stretch all the way down the backs of the legs as well as in that lower back. And take those deep breaths. And take those hands, place them on either side of those legs, and slowly start to walk ourselves back up. We'll take those feet together in front of us and start to bring them in towards the hips, as close as is comfortable. Again, rocking side to side here so we're up on those sit bones, allowing the the weight to be evenly distributed here. Sitting up nice and tall, inhaling here. And exhale, fold ourselves over those legs. Again, coming down to wherever's comfortable. You can take the hands on the foot. You can walk them out, whatever's comfortable here. Again, trying to keep that length in the back so we don't want to round over those legs. Also letting those knees just come down at their own pace. So we're trying not to push anything down. And take those deep breaths. And take those hands, place them on the floor. Slowly give ourselves that little push up here. Take the hands under those knees, give those legs a little help. We're going to take the legs out nice and wide here, or as wide as is comfortable. So whether it's all the way to the sides or just maybe right here, whatever is comfortable on those hips and on those legs. Again, kind of sitting so we're up on those sit bones. So I find it's easiest to kind of come forward in this pose by taking my hands behind me, sitting up nice and tall, and slowly start to walk those hands forward, pushing that upper body down, and then bringing those arms around. You can take the arms, either placing them in front of you or taking hold of those feet, whatever's comfortable. Always we can have a bend in those knees. And again, we always are trying to keep that length in the back so we're not rounding ourselves down. And take those deep breaths. Allow those kneecaps to just kind of relax. Sometimes we start to strain them out to hold the legs down, but just relax everything here. And if we have those feet or those hands on the feet, we'll take them, place them on the floor in front of us, slowly start to walk ourselves back up. Again, taking those hands under those knees, give those legs a little help back up, bringing them together in front of us, and then we're slowly going to make our way all the way down onto our mats. Take those feet, place them onto the mat. Take those hands out by the sides and just kind of let those legs slowly go side to side here. And then bring those knees back up. We're going to take the feet, walk them just over to the right, just a little bit, and then shift those hips over. Bring the knees up into the chest, and then let those knees fall down to that left side. Feeling the twist all the way down the back here. We can keep the gaze up towards the ceiling, or if we want to rotate that head looking over that right shoulder, whatever's comfortable. And take those deep breaths. And we'll slowly start to lift that right leg up, follow it by that left leg. Place those feet back down onto the mat. Walk ourselves center, shift those hips, and then walk those feet over to the left, shifting those hips over. Bring the knees up into the chest and drop those knees down over to that right side. Again, we can keep that gaze straight up, or if we want to rotate it over that left shoulder, whatever is comfortable on that neck. And take those deep breaths. Again, feeling that twist all the way down the back. Taking those deep breaths here. And we'll slowly start to lift that left leg up, follow it by that bottom leg. Place those feet back down onto the mat. Walk those feet back center, shifting those hips over. Take those knees, bringing up into the chest. Take the hands, take take a hold of the outside of the feet here and bring ourselves back up, bringing those knees up into the chest or into the armpits, I guess, and then slowly start to rock side to side here. Maybe giving ourselves that little massage on our spine, on the muscles around the spine. One spot's maybe a little bit tighter, maybe holding it over that spot. Just moving back and forth. And then we'll slowly release those feet. Bring those legs down onto the mat. Let them come all the way down. Take those arms up overhead, doing one final stretch here. So stretch those arms all the way up. Stretch those legs all the way down. Full body stretch, just like we're waking up in the morning. And then let it all fall down onto the mat. Let those legs fall to wherever's comfortable. Let those arms come down alongside the body. Start to close the eyes. Start to refocus on the breath. Going back to feeling it fill all the spaces in the lungs. Moving all the way down to the toes. And feeling it leave the body with each exhale. Taking this time to start to clear the mind of any thoughts we might have. Starting to release any tension you might be holding in the body. Just watching it all melt away with each exhale. Allowing ourselves to sink deeper and deeper into our mats. Maybe it's difficult to shut those thoughts off. So maybe just try counting each inhale and exhale. Knowing that these next few minutes are just for you. Maybe the only few minutes you have to yourself all day. So allow yourself to just relax into your mat. To take advantage of just being here. Start to bring a little life back into your body by wiggling your fingers and toes. Start to roll your wrists and ankles. Rock your head from side to side. Begin deepening your inhales and exhales. When you feel ready, slowly take one foot, place it on the mat, and follow it by the other. Then slowly take one knee into the chest, followed by the other, taking hold of those legs and rocking side to side. And when you feel ready, roll onto your right side. With your right side grounded by the earth, leaving your left side open to the sun, the moon, and the stars, and all the gifts the universe has to offer you today. When you feel ready, come up to a comfortable seated position. We'll take the hands, place them in front of the heart. Close the eyes one last time. Take a deep inhale in and exhale it all out. Thank you for sharing your practice with me this evening. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.